Welcome, L127 here. So, yes, this is my first voice commentary video. So, we are going to play Factorio Space Age. We're going for a playthrough here. So, I previously have uploaded a video of me going through my Space Age playthrough of 326 hours of playtime. So, for this run, we are going to go through the process of going from our home planet Nauvis to other planets, eventually go to the solar system edge, the end of the game, and we could potentially get to further and beyond, and engage with post-game stuff like the Promethean science and research productivity. So here is the starting base I have made. This this base with 11 hours and a half of playtime. So I have basically made some basic production of whatever I needed for setting this beginner base. I have all the research I could potentially done with blue science, but for unlocking any of the new science packs, I will leave the production and utility science packs right now, and we'll start to work on our way to unlock the space platform, space science, and eventually start to go to the other planets. So I have to start to use train system as I running out of the starting patches. I also running out of stone. We only have 53,000 left here. So I will also have to do this for stone later. I don't think code is on an emergency at the moment. But yeah, we have set up the train system for delivering iron and copper so I can produce more resources. And I have been using electric furnaces. I have set up solar panels to reduce pollution production. The power is going alright at the moment. The pollution is decreasing generally, as most of the machines have stopped working because they're mostly full. So I would like to save the game and read the map exchange string. And we're going through the why I changed for my world. So I basically increased the richness in every single resources. Size and the richness in every single resource actually, except for fluids, which I increased both the size and the richness. For most ores, I only increased the richness, except for lithium brine, which we will encounter later on. It's a limited resource. It's unlike other fluids vents, which have the minimum resource vent over 20%, I believe. This can actually run out, so I only increase the richness for this, and I increase the scale of water, decreasing the coverage, reducing the frequency of cliffs to increase their continuity. I increase the scale of the moisture, increase a slight bit of bias, and I disable the enemy expansion nothing changed in this tab. So we are returning to our space age save file here. So here is the science section, which we have the first 4 science packs here. Where so this is the first 2 science packs, which is basically similar to what I did in one of the videos before, which is the quick run of Factorio's tutorial. And basically what it's done here is I put the belt of copper and copper here and side loaded into one of the lanes, and I put the iron gears to the copper lane, to the copper belt, and the electronic circuits to the iron belt. And here I make the ingredients needed for the logistics science pack. And this belt is already what is needed for the automation science. And then I make the 2 science packs and send them to one single belt, put it into the labs. And here is the military science, which is an easy version of the military science. This produces the same rate I need for it to match up with the first 2 science packs. And here is the chemical science. So first I made the advanced circuits and sulfur somewhere else. So this is the entire oil processing section mostly, and I will go through this part later. So here is the chemical science, and it's also made in the same way as the other science packs. But the advanced circuits can be in shortage because I also have robobuses in made, which cost a lot of advanced circuits, and the processing units here also consume quite a amount of red circuits. I also have been storing some of these, which will be used later. So here is where I make the electric engine units, storing some of those. This will be used in one part of it later, one of which is the robot frames, which is used for making robots. So here is the oil processing section, which uses the advanced oil processing. And here is the storage of heavy oil and light oil, which only is used for cracking when I have too much of the heavy oil or light oil in the tanks. And here is where I make the lubricant needed for electric engine units. And here's the plastic, the sulfur, and the batteries, which also requires sulfuric acid, which is also needed for processing units here. And then we have the low density structure, which requires plastic, steel, and a lot of copper. And here is the rocket fuel. So one light oil to solid fuel chemical plant can feed it to assembly machine tools. So basically, one chemical plant making solid fuel will be able to feed it to assembly machine tools making rocket fuel. And then we just add more light oil on the same side, and then we make the rocket fuel. And here is our rocket silos, which requires a lot of resources, one of which is concrete. I have made some of it here, which requires some iron ore. I'm taking some iron ore and upgrade those red belts. So So here is the rocket silo, and I've been making some concrete here. I also made some refined concrete. We will get to this part later. We will need some refined concrete soon. So the first thing is the rockets are ready, but we need a platform because without the platform we can't move on. So let's get started with the platform. So to make a space platform, you first need a space platform starter pack, which requires steel plates, processing units, and space platform foundations. We have most of those, but we don't have the space platform foundations. So first I need to find somewhere to make some platform foundations. This looks like a good place to do it. So I'll be making some here. And then the copper wires, I will also have to make some wires. Probably gonna make some copper wires. Little steel. And the copper. And the concrete. So the space platform foundation requires steel plate and copper cable. We need a lot of those, and we need even more of those when we start to make some. When we start to extend our space problems. I'll limit this to, let's say, 4 stacks. So I'm going to address one of the problems in this place, which is insufficiency of stone. I have some stone stored here. I have been mining some rocks outside the base and putting the stone in these few chests. This will eventually run out, but mostly the stone was used in making military signs, which requires wars. And now we are slowly making the foundations, which we need 60 of those. So first I probably will use the stone patch. Alright, so first I need some rails. Let's get some iron, and then get some steel. I'll be directly picking some stone. I'll probably get more steel. And then I also need some train stops, which requires some electronic circuits as well. Two of those should do it. I will make an intersection, which I'm probably going to get some train signals. And now I also need some more stuff for the locomotives and by the way, all of this space is basically temporary. We will eventually remove the space and make a better, a bigger one. But there are a few problems before we can move on into a bigger base. The first is the cliffs here. I have enabled cliffs. And they are very long because I have increased their continuity. Which there are two ways to get away with the cliffs, in one of which is atomic bomb. This is a very expensive option, though. I don't think this is a really practical option. It's still better to use this on the enemies here. And the other option is cliff explosive themselves. There has been the cliff explosives in the base game. In Space Age, cliff explosives have been moved to, so you have to get this science fact, which is locked behind this planet, Vulcanus, which is our next destination to go for when we start to work on our space expeditions. And there's still a bit of things we need to do before we can proceed to make our journey begin. I'm gonna take some engines because I will need some engines to be able to make locomotives. I think I only need one cargo wagon. Alright. So we'll almost have 60. We also have 60 foundations. Here is the 60 foundations. So the other thing that I need to get is the processing units. Now we can make the space platform starter pack. So this will take a while. It takes 60 seconds to make this. So first I will go to the stone patch I am looking to start to set up miners and start to plan miners, and we'll see how many things I needed to make the mine. To build the mine. Which I believe one way should be. As I think one wagon should be enough of this. I don't want to work too hard on this part. station temporary stop. Probably here to use the same intersection. So that is the intersection. So I'm going to take my robots and start to work on the stone mining. Alright. So here is the space platform starter pack. So we are going to put this into a rocket silo. So the first thing is that we need to start to work on our space science. To do that, we will need to make a platform to unlock what we need to make the science. So we're going to call this space science. And the rocket will launch, and a platform will be created then. So now we have this research complete. So we got a few things. So the first is the cargo bay. This increases the size of the hub, which is the space platform hub, which is this. So this is the space platform hub. It's basically the core part of a space platform. And the asteroid collector is why you need to collect the asteroid chunks. And the crusher is why you need to crush the asteroid into useful materials. So we have the metallic asteroid crushing, which yields iron ore, and the carbonic asteroid crushing, which yields carbon, and the oxide asteroid crushing, which yields ice. So the first thing is that these recipes have a chance of returning the asteroid chunks used to do such recipe. So say metallic asteroid chunk would crush to iron ore with a 20% chance returning the metallic asteroid chunks, and so on. I have did the space science before, and I will give some brief explanation to what each thing, how you're going to make a space science pack, basically. So first we need to take some of these stuff. We will also need electric engine units to make these things, and some steel. So I will make one each. So to further extend the space platform, more space platform foundations will be required to increase the size of the platform basically. You will need to sink a lot of those platform foundations. So you need to make sure you are capable of making mass quantity of those basically. So here are the three things that we could potentially get. Now, the H3 collectors and the crushers requires electricity to function. So you have a few ways of producing electricity. So as you can see here, the boiler requires pressure, and well, space does not have pressure. So basically, in space platform, you cannot place any single burner buildings. As there is no air to burn the things. While the boiler does not work, the heat exchanger works, but you will need a nuclear reactor to get the heat needed to power the heat exchanger. There later is a heating tower which also produces heat, but as it's basically burning things, so it also needs air to function, which does not work in the space platform. So the nuclear option is the only way to generate steam, basically. With what we have now, what we know at the moment. So the nuclear reactor is the only way to produce steam, which will be potentially needed when we start to work on some oil processing stuff. But that comes later when we start to actually produce stuff in the space platforms. So I will sink more space platform foundations. And the other way to generate power is the solar panel. This is what we need to get the power for the space platforms. Although this is only for most of cases, as later on it comes to place that we basically cannot just rely on solar power to get the power needed for more buildings in space on the space platform. So I will send in the cargo bay, the H3 collector, and the crusher to our space platform. I will also send in some solar panels. But yeah, we also need some inserters, so hold on for a second. Another thing I need is decider combinators, which will come into use for a specific reason. But first, I need to be able to make them. So, if I can find somewhere that I can make these decider combinators. So now we are in our space platform. So to build in a space platform, you will have to do it in the ghost mode. So you cannot just like simply pick stuff. So you basically have to build things on space platform using remote view, and you will be given ghost build. You'll be basically building ghosts, and the space platform will basically build the things for you. So basically something like this. Oh, the other thing about the space platform is that the electricity is basically shared across the entire platform, basically. So you don't need power poles to connect the power from a place to another. So the power here, you will be able to see the electric network in the hub menu here. Is that you will be able to see the entire electric network of the entire space platform. So here I will be building some basic things, which I'm going to explain something. So here is the asteroid collector. You will have to place them on the edge of a space platform. And here, building one will unlock you the space science pack. So to build a space science pack, you have to build it on space. You have to craft those in space, which is this platform. So we need ice, iron plate, and carbon. So here we'll collect the asteroid chunks in this range, and asteroid collector has a lot of things when it comes to higher quality, but we will talk about the quality later. Not in this part at least. So to process the asteroid chunks, you will need a crusher. For example, I want to say crush a metallic asteroid chunk. Basically the chunks will be crushed in the crusher and turned into useful resources. Sometimes returning the ingredients used to crush into the useful resources. One thing to note though is that crushers eat a lot of power and has only 2 module slots. So to be able to achieve the minimum power consumption for crushers, or closer to the minimum, you will either have to choose to make efficiency module 2s, which is this one, that it will decrease energy consumption by 40%. The other option available is by using a higher quality efficiency module. An uncommon one will give a negative minus 39%, which is very close to 40%. So we're going to build our space science platform. So I already have a science setup that allows me to build the space science platform. This needs some resources, but we'll look into this later. So first I need to also the cargo bay here. As you can already see that the cargo bay increased the size of the space platform hubs. It also increases the port that it can send resources out and receive resources into the space platform. Now, to let the things auto-build, first we need to auto-request missing construction materials. This will ask basically everything we need. Well, most of the things we need to build the space platform, to build the blueprints that we have set here, or should I say, most of the ghosts. It will say that we need a lot of space platform foundations. You can launch 50 every rocket, so this will take a while. And to let the rocket silos automatically send the resources to the rockets, send to the space platform, so we can get enough resources to make our space platform, our space science production. We need to take this automatic request from space platform, and this will ask basically everything. It will be stacked. It will be sending a single type, 4 rockets to a rocket silo, and will automatically launch when we're basically full. So we're going to continue working on our stone mining. So first, let me get some robots. I also gotta get some wooden chests. Also get some tools. I will take some belts, red belts. And we also need some miners. How many miners? 58. Source items, green orbs. And some efficiency modules. And what else do I need? Oh, that's it. I also need to worry about and running out of rails. So some more stuff. Take the color over the stone. I'm gonna call this a temporary stone receive. I don't want to try minutes. This. And here we will eventually receive the space science. So here I probably want to upgrade this to green actually. So first is the space science. So when we start to receive the space science, which I am also going to get an automatic request for this, 1000 should be has a 1000 buff space and this cargo landing pad. So the cargo landing pad is what you will need to receive the things from space platforms. You can send resources down without a cargo landing pad, but you won't be able to unload things automatically. It's also very dangerous to do it without a cargo pad. Now we need to complete this section. So I think I'm going to get some medium boosters. To make sure I don't get hit by a train. should have my robots. Yes. I may want to get more power. Some minus noise because the robots feel very slow. Can't really upgrade the robot speed anyway. The robot is multi-size. That's to give it to the size that we need. So we'll do what we have. Where the slow robots? This minor should probably complete those first. It's almost complete. Turn on this. Or I can now save the slow truck. Catch the truck. Yeah, 15 minutes. $34.8 a second. It's enough for weapons. Alright, so the stone mine is complete. Yes, the stone is spaceship. So I'm not sure we have resources. We have lost transference. Our still needs plates off. Golfing arrow was permanent. Since So the science, I sent one of each. The bay, the commercial and the collector. So I still need three more bays. But I need to get some steel first. So I get some steel. So three more bays. And five more collectors. 11 more. Final crushes and 11 more collectors. Texas instructions. So let's see what we can get for this space science at the moment. Efficiency module 2, basically tier 2 modules. Logistics system unlocks further improves the logistic network, its capabilities. Corforex, which I don't think I need at the moment. And the space platform foster. This is what we need in order to get to the other planets. So there might be some island or I think the platform. So for this house of progress at the moment. It's currently consistently sinking space platform foundations. This is slow though. And our space platform foundation really suffers steel. I wouldn't really recommend you to go with the automatic uh, requests and rocket deliveries at the current stage because you will be seeing that a lot of things that is sent to the space platform, but we actually don't need this. Well, at least for now. But well, as I don't plan to make this platform to be a traveling ship. Basically, what I can do here is either try to extend with these things, or throw those back in the in Alphas, basically wasting most of the rocket launches. So I would recommend in the early game try to manual launch if you know how much exactly you need. That is. The space platform still needs quite a number of space platform foundations, and still is a problem. So I will try to go through this and may try to use some try to go with varieties now so I can specify, but I definitely want to get I want all the iron to get into this. I want to make sure steel is constantly producing at the moment. You can change those things. You can change those settings on these places and many other things in most videos. I don't think this should be a problem. I have repelled quite a bit of biters, so I shouldn't really need to worry about biter attacks at the moment. I have been trying to upgrade belts from yellow belts to red belts. The yellow belt is basically the regular ones. Those are very slow. Upgrading to the fast transport belts basically doubles the speed. Not just the throughput, but basically double the traveling speed. Basically cut traveling time from a place to another by half, and it's quite important when assessing some things that requires to be done quickly, basically. Slowly but surely, I will take off the automatic request from this rocket silo, as I need to send some stuff with this rocket, basically, so I can complete my space science platform. I still need quite a number of foundations. We are really running out of space platform foundations. Before we run out of foundations, I want to take 60 of those again and make another foundation. So I will need another foundation. I will need another starter pack. To get more steel going. obviously, the steel should always be running. I still want to say something. We will be sending another space platform. So we're going to be making this a travel ship. We're going to call this a travel. We just call it travel. First. So we made another spaceship basically. Now we have to wait until I can get all the space platform foundation sent to the space science. So I can start to work on space science. First, let's look into traveling in space platform. So the first thing is like this is where we are at the moment. This is Nauphis. So the first planet I want to go is the technology I desperately need. The cliff explosives requires me to get to this planet, Vulcanus. So this is the metallurgic science pack, and this pack will be needed for me to unlock cliff explosives, so I can break all these cliffs around me and finally start extending my base. There are other techs I also want, which can help me increasing things. But as the route is not so safe, as you can see here, that in the way of basically going to the planets, we will encounter medium asteroids, and the medium asteroids is usually the same per type over the types. So the medium asteroids have a complete immunity to electric and fire. It's 30% explosion resistance, has 90% laser resistance, and 10% physical resistance. So the first thing is 90% laser resistance, basically, and 10% physical resistance basically wants you to not use the laser turrets, instead using the gun turrets to defend your space platform from the asteroids. Instead we're using the lasers. And as to say that piercing rounds magazine is not recommended. First, it needs copper plates, which we can't do at the moment. Space platform self-sufficient, at least. To get copper, we will need advanced metallic asteroid crushing, which requires advanced things first. And as we only have our metallic asteroid crushing, we can only get iron, but not the copper. We basically have to use the regular firearm magazine, and that's already enough for what we need, even till basically going to the solar system edge. You might want the piercing round, and you can really see that space science is starts being made slowly but surely, and I also need to. One way then. Anyways, so our space science is slowly but surely being made, and then we can start to research our space platform first. This will be needed very soon. Anyways, so what you needed to defend against the asteroids in space on the trip to basically Novice to another planet is by using gun turrets with regular ammunition. That is strongly recommended to make the ammunition on the space platform, using the collected asteroids chunks, crush them into iron ore, smelt them into iron, and make the firearm magazines. I'll be talking about a spaceship that I have made, as well as some past things I have made. Basically, in the maze, the previous save eventually finished with 326 hours. It should be almost complete, 77 rotations, so one more should do it. This is really slow. I can't help it. It's really that slow. This is eating 6 per second. And we have 40 of those. So we can even feed like 6 seconds, really. It is that slow. I think it's just barely 6 seconds. With the ship almost done, but it's actually functioning now, let's talk about how this works. So the first thing is how this works is really based on the decider combinators. But first, let's talk about the basic logic, the basic circuits here. So I also can get this weight condition that we only unload ever so often in every 5 seconds of this moment, every 60 seconds of only 5 seconds of which will unload the stuff. So first thing is the space sense is made quite slowly, and I have this design that I made so it directly feeds the iron plate to the assembler and other resources, as well as iron plate is the only material needed to the only needed item that you will need to process before sending to the space site. The other two ingredients, the carbon and ice, you can just put them directly as soon as you process them. And here is the asteroid processing. So here will first let's talk about the asteroid collection. So the asteroids collector is locked to a circuit network, so the filter is set by the circuit network, and this is the red line. So, oh wait, this one. So basically, what it's going to do is going to read. It's going to read the whole belt of this circle. This entire circle is going to be red, so it's going to read the entire sushi belt in the middle here and send it to the decider combinations and read and output the signal whenever for the asteroid chunks, whenever less than 50 of each. And then send the signal to the collectors so they stop collecting more of some specific types so it doesn't clog. And the asteroid chunks are only going to be on the outer side of the loop, and the inner side is going to be specified for. It's going to be for the processed stuff like the iron ore. And as I said, that the crushing recipe well has a chance to output the asteroid chunks themselves again. So we also have this recycling thing, this recycling machine section here that will throw away the excess if it's not accepted by the recycling. It's basically taking the same signal as the asteroid collector. So all the returned asteroid chunks will be first put into this belt if they are not really needed, because the inserter is inserting them back to the outer side belt. Then it's thrown away. You can throw anything really, as according to tips and tricks, you can basically remove everything with an inserter to the edge of a space platform. You can't have holes in the space platforms, in all the space platforms. So take note of that when designing a ship. And the second part of we also read the belt and take it to the decider combinators to determine if we want to output the processed products into the belt. I said that the iron ore. That I have too many of this iron ore. I want them to be kept in the crusher form now, instead of putting too many in the loop and clogging as a result. And as well as the other types. So the inserter is controlled by this. The inserters are controlled by this circuit network, and I only enable. Basically, they're only to output the signal when I don't have enough of a specific item in the inner side of the belt. And then the three products, the iron is going to be put into, I don't think anything, but yeah, for safety measures. And then basically the iron is smelted into plates and sent into the space science assembler and eventually sent back to the hub, where we output the hub. We're going to put everything back. It's finally complete. That's what it does. So, yes. So this is the space science. It's going to collect the asteroids and process them, and then process into space science. You can just leave the space science basically. The space science will be plentiful over time. So now we have our next stage going. So this is the space platform thruster research. After researching this, you will be able to go to one of the three planets. So the first is Factorio. This is basically a lining planet, or so it's a scrap recycling planet. It's quite annoying to deal with, in my opinion. We'll go through this later though. And this is Gleba. So this is a swampy planet with enemies, spoilage mechanics, and basically a visual mess. I'm not a fan of this planet basically, mostly because it's very hard to see clearly on this planet. And I want to leave this last of the three. And Vulcanus or Vulcanus is going to be the first planet I'm going to choose to pick among the three planets. And this will allow us to unlock the cliff explosive. So we're going to get this then. But I also want to get productivity module too. So I'll go with this first actually. The reason I want to get productivity module too is I want to tuck them into I want to put them into the lab so I save more resources. So let's go to our travel section, our travel platform. So here's already a design I have made. So I have tested this blueprint that it's going to work with physical projectile damage 5, weapon shooting speed 5. So I am sure that this platform will work then. But the first thing that we absolutely need to do is to send in the resources we actually need. So I can actually turn off the automatic request. This can be annoying if I don't. So the first thing is I'm going to rate how much things I actually need. So 1 assembler, 2 pumps, 2 storage tanks. I want to do this because I want to save as much of the rockets as I can, because I don't want to waste too many rockets for building the space platform. 4 accumulators, 4 splitters, 4 splitters. Electric furnaces, 5 decider converters. Eight pipes to boilers. And long arms, long-handed inserters. How much for is that? So, resources. Alright. So, the rest of the sources. Next one is going to be 15 gun turrets, 20 underground, 20 submarines. Don't have sense for that. 15 gun turrets. Underground. 300. Still closing with 45 right now. So it doesn't get some space going. Yeah, get to report. Stretch that a little bit of space. Awesome. Let's see what else we need. 21 solar panels. $40, $45. So this I still need to put 6 of those. Still need to put 6 of those. focus. Alright, so I want to start making some relativity images. So 32. 32, 160. So let's get this started. 16. That's right, it's dead. And then 128 relativity images. This can take a while. So will be those a bit later. If I can reduce the science pack consumption, definitely do it. 45. What is it? Information on lower? No. That works. Time to work on the other stuff. So we need six chemical plants. Six collectors. 5 crushers, so I need a lot more density structures. I don't think I need low densities for clusters. So again, 6. And then 4 thrusters. This one doesn't have cargo bags. It will take us a while to get that. Make sure I didn't accidentally do anything to space lines. If I did, that would be after which I think I can start to research all this stuff. these two speed modules so they remain faster. Otherwise it takes too much time for this to increase. Almost all the things are here. So it's a 76 chemical bonds. Yeah, it's up to the space platform foundations that needs to be set. Until we can finally finish it. Now I'm going to slowly but surely get our relativity module to make, so I can upgrade our labs with higher relativity so we can use less science packs to get the same research progress done. I'm waiting for the relativity modules to be ready. That goes with defaults to set as well. I should be able to set something also deliveries of space platforms. It's costs more power, but doesn't increase pollution because labs don't reduce pollution. It's normally will increase the pollution. This is an exception because labs don't reduce pollution. This will make them slower, but it also drains the axial. This can be useful for the planetary science purpose. We still need a lot of space platform foundations to complete. We're researching the planet discovery now, but this can take a while. I want to get maps. Now let's take a look into what we potentially want to bring to Vulcanus. So one of the things is that this place has a lot of solar power. That on the planet it has a 400% of solar power compared to where we are, which is 100%. And the other thing is there is a foundry. This is the foundry. So to make a foundry, you need refined concrete. And there is the big mining drill. And to make the big mining drill, you need electric engineering and some advanced circuits. So the metallurgic science pack is actually quite easy to make, in my opinion. The difficulty comes in two parts. One is the enemy present there, and the other part is the difficulty to make all your products there. For example, plastic, which is required to make advanced circuits and low density structure. So there are two things I want to guess. One is the cliff explosives, and the other is cold liquefaction. Cold liquefaction is specifically one of the more important things to get after cliff explosives. This will save us a lot of coal needed to produce the same amount of petroleum products. Using the same amount of coal, we get a lot more petroleum this way. So we definitely want to use this better coal liquefaction. As there is a simple coal liquefaction, but we definitely want to get the better coal liquefaction whenever possible. So I will pause the recording here, and we'll return when the space platform is finished. Right, so I'm back. So after some time waiting outside, look, our travel ship is basically complete. So the spaceship is complete. It's time for the cargo. So obviously I wouldn't be able to bring that much with me. Saturation. So first thing I definitely want to bring is not here. The very first thing that I absolutely need to make is a cargo landing pad. So the first thing I want to bring is refined carbons. This is very needed. Because I want to actually bring some gun turrets, some robot frames. We are bringing basically the most essential stuff. I feel like we're going to need when we start to work on things. So next is the cargo landing pad. It absolutely needs to go there. How much space do I have? Not that much. I don't think I'll be able to. So I won't be able to sing all of this needed stuff in one go. What I could do though is to do a test run with what we have and then let the ship return as well and then bring the second batch and I will also go there. I was going to the spaceport. So the first thing that I need to know is that I absolutely have to basically have nothing on me to be able to get into the space platform. But I can bring my armor and my guns, so like your most important thing is probably the armor. You can bring that and some of the guns, like the regular submachine guns, but you cannot bring ammunition. So we are going to deliver our electric engine units there. Should be almost done. We will bring the circuits to this one. We still need some rockets for this to complete. So basically, this is a loop for only the asteroids. So this is another sushi loop that slots. And so here. So the asteroid chunks, that will be basically the same thing here, is that I only take the asteroids when I have 80 time. I won't have less than 80 over the time. And I take the asteroid chunks with the asteroid commanders. Here we put our we do a metallic asteroid crushing and send the iron ore into the hub that is going to only input the iron ore when we have less than 250. So it's going to cap at 250, so it doesn't flood the entire hub with iron ore. Same with this smelting. I will need to make sure I only put the iron ore into this electric furnace. And here is the assembly machine making the animation. One of the mistakes I have so many people doing was basically overwhelming their only single furnace or two to feed an assembly machine. So what you need, how many furnaces you actually need is if you're using a single assembly machine 2, you will need 5 electric furnaces to basically match off the speed. If you're using an assembly machine 3, you will need 8 of those furnaces. And here are the turrets. You will also need some turrets on the side and the back section in order to make sure when they're in orbit of the other planets, they don't get absolutely demolished by, well, the larger asteroids. And here is what is really needed for the travel, is that we need to make thruster fluids. So there are 2 types of thruster fluids. So this is a thruster. That's not required, because we haven't started this right now. So here is the thruster. So it will consume both the thruster fuel and the thruster oxidizer. And no, this cannot be flipped. So you will have to make sure you have to basically memorize that this is the pattern of a thruster. So you will take the thruster fuel on these two slots. There's 2 I/O slots, because you can input the thruster fuel from here, and you can also output the thruster fuel to here, and then basically chain the thrusters like this, same as the oxidizers. And to make the fuel, you will need carbon and water. And to make the oxidizer, you will need iron ore and water. And to make water here, you will need ice melting, which is basically it's very simple to set up, but can take a bit of effort. And you need to absolutely make sure that when you do a crushing, you basically take off the asteroid chunks off the crushers, otherwise they will stop working. So this is basically the spaceship design. A few things though. So this is a decider combinator which read the fuel tanks, the fluid tanks. There's 2 fluid tanks that is storing the thruster fluids. They're going to be reading the thruster fluids and an accumulator. I believe it's this one. it's going to be read into this combinator. It's also going to read the ammunition inside the hub. So this is the check signal, which is only going to be sent. It's going to be outputted when all of these conditions are met. So the first is sufficient ammunition, sufficient frost fluids, and then sufficient energy storage stored in the accumulators. And then you can say like basically when you're doing a schedule, you can basically like say it's a circuit condition that I only want to wait. Like I want to wait on a station on a planet until like the check signal is met. It basically means that all of this condition are required to be met to basically proceed to the next stop or next station. The second special combinator is the clock. This is the clock system. It's only going to run when basically the ship is running with frost. This is the velocity, which is read from the hub. This is the speed. It's going to be more than 0 when I actually start to. It's going to be at least 10. It's going to be more than 10 when I start the frost, and it's going to be most likely to be more than 15 when the frosters are going. And the clocks will be running, and the dot signal here. So I have this will work so only a partial amount of time that the pump will function, which basically reduces the overall pump throughput compared to the expected 1200 per second. It will be reducing to around 200, which will decrease the speed of the froster, which generally decreases the fuel consumption, because the fluid consumption, because the frost actually has inefficiency in the froster. So the efficiency is higher if there is less fluid usage per froster. So we gain more frost over the same amount of fuel used, which allows us to save a bit of fuel, and then slows down the entire ship, because I don't think that the ship can handle so much of incoming asteroids that fast. When it comes to that, we don't really have much of damage upgrades at the moment. You could always go faster if you have that confidence, but we will go with this. So I want to bring more things before I actually going to start the ship for the first time. So let's put this ship to the test. So here we are going to click Vulcanus, and then we are going to set it to automatic. And this will give us an autosave, which uh, is going to be platform's first trip to a planet. It also applies to when you go back to Novice, not just the outer planets. So on the way, we will start to encounter the medium asteroids, which needs to be taken down, or our spaceships will be broken down by them. Basically, the collision damage between the asteroids and the ship. On the way, we'll also be slowly collecting those asteroid chunks from those broken down asteroids to resupply our resources in the ship. And the ship is traveling at a rate of 160 when coming closer to a planet. Slowly but surely, the ship is coming towards Vulcanus, and we're gonna drop stuff. I think I can drop stuff. Right, so I drop some stuff. And then I can go back to Novice. Though I highly doubt if I have that. Should be enough. Fuel can be a problem. Time wastes nowhere. We need to start to quickly get all things loaded and start to work on the trophy. This is starting second. Speed this up. should be okay, so indirectly don't have any spaceship. almost done with the launching. Two more launches. It's the spawn jack and basically the count. So it's almost there. We're almost finished the preparation. When I bought a tower defense, I don't think I would. To be honest, I'm probably just gonna keep like this. And then when I finally be able to unlock cliff explosives, then I probably will begin extending the base. That I think I will need it. It's time to go. It's time to drop to the planet. There might have been some stuff. So now we are going to or you can just just get this to set. So it's time to deliver all this stuff. So I will go for a navigation of this terminal. Let's see how we're going to think around our next plans before ending this part. So this is a demolisher territory. We don't know what the demolition is. Well, then we will be able to see what it is. And it is guarding this tungsten ore. And this is our target. It has insane regeneration and is immune to practically everything except like physical, which has 50% still a lot. Some of the resistance. The seconds are more resistant to some capacity, like 99% explosion resistance, compared to the head, which only has 60%. And they also got a more physical, I think this was for damage resistance. So this is a hot place, and this ground is quite annoying as this will greatly decrease your walking speed. So these times. We'll see where are the borders or safe areas where we can work things around with. So this is a safe perimeter. But one thing for sure is this is where we need to fight for. Alright, so let's take our stuff. And I will be ending this part here. So yeah, so that's all for this part. So thanks for watching, and Subscribe to the channel if you want to follow any future parts of this series.